Hey, welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel. I guess I'm live. Let's just take a look here and see what's going on. In stream? Okay, good. Okay. Welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel. We're continuing our exploration of the Furniture Mart sales data. We're continuing to use our programming language and ChatGPT to write the code for the analysis for us. We're also just as a matter of habit, we're creating a PowerPoint presentation in the end, okay? So we're on the last part of the last two questions of part 4, okay? Before we get started, there's one thing I want to show you here. Okay? And that is this right here. I'm sure you're aware of all the big news out of the math world. Now, is of course a new Mercy and Prime number has been found, and the exponent for it is like something like 10 million digits long or something outrageous like that. Well, mine's not quite that good, but I wrote a simple program in R. Okay, ChatGPT was to calculate Mercy and Primes for me. And this is you see here tomorrow night 9 p.m. is going to be the second of the video. We're going to make some tweaks to the plot. The gate code, we're going to add it. We're going to change it. The original code so it'll write the results out to a DuckDB database. We're also going to try to run some longer time checks. Okay, we're going to add a couple extra little wrinkles to the final data also. Okay. But anyway, enough of that. Good. Enough of that stuff. Let's get back to the question at hand, which is which is Data Mart or Furniture Mart. Okay, so let's come back over here, minimize this. So as you can see, we got identify which products have declining sales or not been sold in the last 6 months. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is come back over here. Actually, I can use a lot of help. Of course! I'd like to see it one time say, I'd like to help, but man, I really had a rough day. Can you just come back tomorrow? But of course, the ongoing debate, of course, tonight was that should we be polite to ChatGPT? Should we say, would you please help me with this? Or we just say, answer this question? Anyway, so first thing, what we're going to do, upload our data. Which is it's an Excel spreadsheet. It never hurts to just give it a little bit of let's just try some. Nah. So, I was going to ask it a question, see if I could do a plot for it, but we're not. Let's just get back to subject at hand, okay? Go over here. No, I'm going to need that. There you go. Okay. Come back over here. No, I actually used chatgpt to help me put together a report for a stock that I'm interested in. I went and asked it to give me a summary of the stock, and it gave me like a whole list. A brief detour, and this is what it gave when I asked for it. The question was, what can you tell me about the company? It gave me all this information about the test. And I added that to my car code, okay? But anyway, come back over here. Let's take a look. Oh, we got 3 plots. Let's see. Sales data. So we actually did. Okay. We don't really need these, do we? So the last 6 months, this date. I think it's 2017. Let's see if it finds out for us here. Okay, good. Because we will go back 6 months from December 30th, 2017. See, we've already got this all. Well, no reference date. Okay. We've already got this, all right? So we don't need that. Filter for the last 6 months. So we got last 6 months reference date minus 6. Recent sales. Sales data. Filter order date equals last 6 months. Then 2 plots. Aggregate the total sales by product for both recent and historical data. Group by This one looks fun, doesn't it? Okay. Let's come back up here, load our libraries. Let's do one more thing just before we get started, shall we? Let's just do mark down this. We're basically going to turn off, even though we're actually creating a Okay. Even though, what are we creating up? So we are creating a HTML slideshow using real.js. We'll start with that one, okay? So we come back down here now. We load this. We grab our data. And the data in the sales data is called sales data. And here's sales data. Of course, we don't actually need that because we've already loaded the data, right? Right, here's our data, okay? You don't actually need this either, because it should already be a date, right? Yeah, order date, ship date are dates. Alright, so we don't really need this either. And we don't need this. Okay. Let's change it to a longer date period, shall we? I wonder if this is actually right. Well, you can see we are gradually let's try it in the last 2 years. It's hard to believe we have products that haven't sold in the last 2 years. See, I don't know what those are, because those aren't really showing anything, are they? Let's do this. Let's split the plots out into separate functions, okay? So the first one shows sales trend over time. Product name. Oh, hey, my friend. Well, uh, you probably have to, first of all, I'm an amateur at this. I do this as a hobby. Yeah, Python, uh, you know, here's the thing. Everybody's going to expect you to know Excel, okay? So you have to know Excel. Your coursework will probably direct what you're actually using. There'll probably be Python, I'm thinking. That's more common in college environments and data science classes. Uh, at a practical level, like I said, Excel, SQL, really. Uh, so what? So what was your bachelor's degree in? And we're talking about Python. We're also talking about machine learning and AIs now. Okay. In finance. Okay. Do you want to work for like a stockbroker company? Do you want to be a quant analyst? Is that what you want to be? Okay. I was going to say, if you want to be a quant analyst, then probably the most important skill is Excel. uh, I mean, as odd as it may sound, yeah, a lot of quant type of analysis is done using Excel. Okay, but yeah, absolutely Python. I mean, I'm using R right now, but and I'll mention that. Okay, yeah. You can't go wrong with Python. Okay. Of course, ChatGPT has changed everything. I mean, all my Python code is now written with ChatGPT, as well as my R code is all written with ChatGPT now. I've been using R for like maybe 3 or 4 years, and once ChatGPT really got up and running, I started forking out to $25 a month, and it's been well worth the investment. Okay. So what part of the world do you live in? Thanks. Connecticut. Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, I'm in Central Ohio. I live outside of Columbus, Ohio. Okay. So what university are you going to? So we're gonna get rid of all this here because none of these plots really did what we wanted them to. Okay. Okay, very nice, very nice. So what year of your master's program are you in? First semester. So is it a 2 year program then? Is it 2 years? 2 more years for the masters? Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Now, of course, the great debate is should we be polite to ChatGPT? Should I say, "Hey, great, that's a good job. Thanks for your help"? Okay. Do you know what programming language you actually are going to learn as part of this program? I'm not really sure what it's going to do with this. Let's see. See, all I'm doing here, I'm just asking ChatGPT to write the code to answer this question. Now, in my experience, R is easier to learn, particularly if you don't have any programming language experience. If you have programming language experience, it doesn't make a difference whether you use R or Python. Do you have any? Did you do any programming as part of your bachelor's program? Let's see, grouping sales data by category, subcategory, turnover metric. We calculate an approximate inventory turnover by dividing total sales by total quantity sold. Okay, good. So did you work with things like pandas and NumPy and matplotlib? Okay. So how are your Excel skills then? Do you know how to do how you use like Power Query in Excel? Oh, good. Power Query is what separates Excel from any other spreadsheet program, in my opinion. Plus Power Query is also part of Power BI. Just so you know, okay. Power Query is an incredibly powerful tool. You can actually use Power Query to import more than 1 million rows of data into Excel. It's it's really good for data cleaning. For me, it's much easier to do data cleaning in Power Query than it is to do it in regular Excel. But you can also use Power Query to connect to databases like SQL Server to Postgres and stuff like that. You can also use it to do web scraping with it. It's a web function. You actually do web scraping with it. So Power Query is an incredible tool. For me, it's a killer feature. You know, if people try to say, "Oh, very good, very good." Yeah, you know, you you have to eat, sleep, and drink VLOOKUPs. Okay, that's one of those things you have to be able to do without actually thinking about it. I mean, it's such a common function. Even though there's better ways to do things, you got to know VLOOKUPs. I mean, it's serious. It's like, and then there may be XLOOKUP and maybe index or match, but you know, but VLOOKUP is such a common function in a lot of most Excel projects. It's like you gotta be able to do it in your sleep. Okay. There's also a lot of good videos, you know, with Excel on YouTube, of course. From basic all the way up to like doing like serious sales analysis and stuff like that. So if you've done any like sales analysis with Excel or any like you know, what exactly have you done? Okay, yeah, like I say, you know, you could even use ChatGPT to write like you know, DAX functions and stuff like that. You can say what you know, you can say, okay, what real world problems. Oh no, the dreaded Titanic data set. You know, that's like project one in everybody's data science book, you know. And then the next one is probably like Palmer Penguins or something like that. Kaggle. Do you have an account on Kaggle? If you don't, then you need to get one. Okay. Kaggle is it's a data science site. They have thousands of tens of thousands of data sets from sort of abstract all the way up to like this one here has to do with furniture sales. This came from sign up for a free account on Kaggle. In addition to data sets, they have some training programs. They also have online notebooks for Python and R. So you can actually use that. You can either download the data, you can use their notebooks in order to do your data analysis with. But they got business-related data sets. They got, you know, save the world type of data sets, you know, things like that. A wide range. Another one to look at if you're interested in like social issues, great social issues, is called ourworldindata.org. Okay, let me show you that site real quick. Yeah, but definitely go to kaggle.com, right, and sign up for a free account. Okay. The other one is, if you're interested in like I said, research the data to make progress against the world's largest problem. But if you're interested in like business analytics, you could look for data sets on Kaggle. Okay. Oh. Well, also total quantity, total sales. Good grief! If this is right, holy smoke! The Han metal bookcase that's been sold in over 1,200 days in almost 2 years. Yeah, see, I'm using the R language and I'm using R Studio, okay? But I also use I also use VS Code when I work with Python, okay? Alright, so you can see I use VS Code also. But like I said before, all my Python code is written by ChatGPT now. And if you're looking at, if you're looking to put a Python environment on your computer, look at Conda. Install Mini Conda, because what it is, it gives you a way to manage your project. You manage your project. You create a different folder with the collection of programs you need to do Python analysis for each project. Okay, and it's also a way to manage versions of software, because you may, for instance, have one stakeholder who wants you to use Python 3.11. Well, you can say, when you set up your environment, you can tell it to use Python 3.11. But almost all of that's a good question. I mean, I would think no. From my perspective, the only thing the client cares about is results. They don't care how you get the results. Right? Of course, like I say, I'm an amateur. This is a hobby for me. So I don't actually know what's going on in the real world whatsoever. But I would hate to be a company that says no to AI. Because I guarantee you the competition's using it. Okay, can you afford to give the competition the edge of using HI to do analysis with? Let's render this thing and see what we got. One of the things I'm using here, and this is something you might be interested in, is I'm using a package called Quattro, and it works with both Python and R, and you can use it to create finished documents with. Like you can create PowerPoint presentations, Word docs, PDF documents, HTML documents. So it's very quickly becoming the standard because it works with R and Python both. It works with RStudio. It works with VS Code. It's very easy to use. And I got a thing here that says this isn't working. Profit margin not found. Let's run this thing from the top. Run this. Run this. Run this. Number 2. Oh, I just like working with the data, and trying to find, just trying to make pretty plots and stuff like that. Like I say, I'm an amateur, but I know I've been working with data since Atari 800 and VisiCalc. Okay, I know. I always like working with data. Regardless of what the data, I always find it interesting to write code and to get interesting results back. It's just and to say we're missing profit margin. Okay, so let's ask ChatGPT, because profit margin is just what? let's come back up and redo this one. So let's get rid of this one. Of course, the other thing is every now and then I do something like this, and I get a really good insight to the data. It's particularly if you're working with social type data. Like causes of death. I worked with a data set called U.S. causes of death in the 20th century. So I just did very simple plots for the individual causes of death, and it's interesting to see how how certain deaths from certain diseases have declined and certain diseases increased. Okay, but again, that was a very simple data set. It was just a timeline. It was just a time series plot. Dates on the x-axis and amount on the y-axis, and it's just a simple line plot. But it's also a very good way to get insights, to simple data. And I'll just mention real quickly that our world in data is all time series data. It's always something occurs over time. Okay, and it's also something occurs over time for individual countries. Okay, so if you're looking to do some time series analysis, that certainly is one site to look for. But so let's try this here then. Let's save this plot. Okay, so let's try to render this thing. What happens when you're using this SAR code like this to create a slideshow is any text that follows a hashtag, okay, indicates a new slide. So it's hashtag project 4, hashtag calculate total number of unique cells, and so forth. Okay. Now this doesn't work real good, does it? Because we can't see the plots. Well, let's see. So what we could do is, I think anyway, we could do. Let's see. Change this to PowerPoint. Okay. And the advantage of PowerPoint is you can edit the individual slides. But like I said, this so we need to obviously get rid of this crap here somehow. So there's obviously some work to be done with this thing here. Let's delete that slide. So we can go over here like this and Anyway, so we now have our basic slides. Have our basic slideshow, right? Okay. Hey, so Ron, how you doing, my friend? I'm here with Ya, and we're talking about data science. What are you up to this evening? Now, the reason a lot of this text showed up, okay, is because it's underneath a hashtag. If we put it, but anything up here above this first hashtag, okay, is going to be isn't going to show up on, or shouldn't show up on the slide. Although it did over here, didn't it? Didn't it? This did show up, didn't it? Did it? I don't remember now. Anyway, so tell me, Tha, what are you up to this evening? Thanks so much. So what have you done? Yeah. Tonight we're working with a Kaggle data set. We work with a Kaggle data set. It has to do with furniture sales. There, of course, as I should mention, there is a link in the description to the GitHub repository. It contains all the data and the code. Okay. Very important, and the requirements for the project. All right. So this needs to be worked with a little bit, doesn't it? What we could do is that I think I'm going to close this up for right now. Anyway, let's take a second look at the slideshow. You can drop that. We can either go back and fix this, or just leave it go for right now. Because my weakness is creativity. When it comes to design slideshows, I'm I'm not the best. Okay, that's why I need a team member who's really creative and knows how to take my data and put it together and turn it into a nice slideshow. Okay, but anyway. I'll just mention that, again, that all the code I used to create this slideshow presentation, I got from ChatGPT. What I did, I had a list of requirements, okay? Requirements, all right? And all I did was, I uploaded the data to ChatGPT. Then I said, write the R code to answer this question. Write the R code and create the data visualization to answer this question. And that's all I did. And everything you see here was made by ChatGPT. What's this up here? Okay. So let's take one final look at our slides. Now, that didn't look too bad, I don't think. But anyway, I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring this session to a close. And thanks so much for stopping by and saying hi. I appreciate it. But stop back anytime. If you really need me, you can also just leave a comment in the description below for any questions you have, and I'll be more than happy to try to help you out, okay? Thanks so much for your time, guys. We'll catch you. I'll be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We're going to continue to search for what's called Mercian primes, okay? Check YouTube. There's videos about big news out of the math world. The largest Mercian prime so far has just been found. So by all means, watch those videos. Then come back tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and watch me try to struggle with convince ChatGPT to give me a better program for that. Okay? Thanks again so much, guys. We'll catch you hopefully the next time I'll be doing this video with this data set, the furniture data set.